Welcome to Getting Home Sourced with G. Your one-stop shop for all things real estate. Gianno is your go-to guy with over 25 years of experience in the game, serving up the insider scoop on buying, selling, and investing in two of the hottest markets, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Cabo, Mexico. Whether you're looking to score the perfect home, seal the deal on a sale, or dive into the world of international investments, G's got the tips, tricks, and swagger to make it happen. Remember, in Nevada, the smart choice is the right choice. And when it comes to Cabo, you better go oceanside with Cabo G. If you were looking for a quiet, tranquil show about real estate, this ain't it. Gianno has this thing called passion. Let's unleash the beast. This is Welcome to Getting Home Sourced. And now your host, Gianno.
Live from New York, it's Saturday night!
Hey, what do you say? Hey, folks, just got back from New York. We got to do our New York City Recap Show. This is what we're talking about here, folks, because let me tell you something. A lot of things going on in New York City, and we're going to get all to it. But, of course, I want to start by saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to wherever you're listening around the world. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And, of course, I have to give love to my repeat offenders. My engine that drives the Ferrari. You know who you are. Thank you so much for tuning in and telling your friends about it. And also my newbies, my first timers, welcome. If you haven't listened to the show, this is your first time. Thank you so much. And for those that have listened just for a couple of times, again, thank you so much, because of course, I have a lot of goodies that I have for everybody, the tools to succeed, right? So we have the newsletter on my website, which is vegashomesource.com. We have our toll-free G number, 888-528-2810. We also have our partnership programs here in Las Vegas that helps the community, that helps sellers, that helps buyers, also other realtors. We help promote others here in Las Vegas and having trouble selling their properties, of course, new builds as well. We also have our partnership program in Cabo, with hotel and massage availability on the beach. Of course, massage on the beach. Meadow Massage is the best. And also Kuden Hotel, right around the corner from my office, folks, with Oceanside. So you got to get more information about that. Let me know. And then, of course, my Concierge Tax Benefits Partnership Program, where we help internationals and domestics set up trusts, corporations, LLCs, whatever corporate entity that you need to invest in a foreign country, whether it be the U.S. or Mexico, wherever you're doing it, we can make it happen for you. And we have our partnership with them. Live the corporate life. That's what I'm talking about. So, but right now, today's show, I want to get into it. I want to get into New York City because, of course, that's my hometown. That's where I'm from. And every time I go back, I just don't want to leave, actually. But got to come back home. It's my second home on the West Coast. But I got to tell you, folks, I mean, New York is always great. It's always jumping. City was busy. City was bustling, really. It's busy and bustling. That was fast. But great time. And also great business connections, because I also go back there not only to see family, but also business contacts and what have you, and developing, nurturing. I mean, again, that's what real estate's all about, right, folks? It's nurturing relationships. It's the brand that you have, trust, you have responsibility, right? So we go out there, make things happen. And I was very excited to meet a couple of folks in the real estate world for commercial and for residential, and just to see what's going on in New York City, right? And start doing that cross, continental relationship for people that are looking to move out. Because again, a lot of people in the East Coast want to get out of there. They want to go to a better climate. They want to go to a better situation. West Coast, and again, Las Vegas, no tax state, right, in the U.S., or at least one of 7. And then, of course, you also have people that want to open up business and be successful in New York, which is the high finance district, really, not only of the country, probably the world. But for right now, there's a lot of real estate companies that are setting up shop in New York City. You have financial institutions. And again, there's always real estate opportunities, especially in New York, folks. And again, we're going to jump into that as well. But like I said, in New York City, we have a lot of off-market properties everywhere. That's, again, talking to a lot of people and seeing what's going on. It's really spectacular to see what's happening in New York. But
is that your answer?
I'm thinking about it.
Think hard.
You know, just to digress a little bit. So in walking around New York City, you know, again, hitting Central Park, hitting downtown, hitting Midtown, hitting Uptown, you know, it's international flavors, it's international communities and cultures. You can walk 5 blocks and be in 2 different neighborhoods, let alone 2 different cultural neighborhoods. That's what makes it exciting and interesting. But again, a reveal that I want to give to people, and probably not so much of a big reveal, but a lot of people who visit New York City, they tend to go on Fifth Avenue and they want to go do all the window shopping, see the Louis Vuitton building, the Prada buildings, Dolce & Gabbana, Gucci, what have you, right? So, and those businesses are along 59th Street down to 51st Street on Fifth Avenue, okay? And you have Saks, which is on 50th, and they always do a great Christmas spectacular window shows and what have you. Cartier does the same thing as well. But here's the thing, folks. For those that just keep walking up and down Fifth Avenue, if you want to get off that tourist trap corridor per se, folks, again, I was even shocked myself because, again, being out of New York City for a while and then coming back and actually walking around Madison Avenue, and you're going Madison Avenue from actually 59th Street up to 69th Street, you have all the same stores. Why? Because they cater to all of the high-end wealth people that live in that area. They also have the main stores that you're looking for: Hermes, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, Dolce & Gabbana, Armani. It's all there, right? But the thing is that you have it between Fifth Avenue and Park Avenue, and it's just nestled right in between, which I guess you could probably call it the Upper East Side, really, but I still tend to think of it as Midtown North, per se. But I got to tell you, folks, the local stores there, it's quiet, it's easy. You can walk right past it and not even know you walked past it, right? So you have to check out Madison Avenue. Again, it's a little sleeper area. It's more for the locals that kind of live and work in that neighborhood. Again, Madison Avenue, 59th to 69th Street, because guess what, folks? If you go a block east of Madison, so you have Fifth Avenue and then go a block east, or let's say you're going from your left to your right, and then again you're going to go from your left to your right, you're going to hit Park Avenue, and that's where the Italian consulate is, right? So it's kind of interesting where you have a lot of the Italian designer shops literally right around the corner from the Italian consulate, which is on 69th and Park. So for those that kind of like to shop and don't like the heavy crowds and what have you, you got to check out Madison Avenue, again, between 59th and 69th. You'd be surprised. They have a lot of high-end stuff over there. And also they have, really cool coffee shops, cafes, restaurants, and what have you. And you could sit outside. They have I call it in-street dining, because you have people literally on the curb, or in that aspect, actually on the sidewalk and eating over there. And it's really cool. And it gives you a different feel. You're off of the tourist corridor, which is Fifth Avenue. And again, you're actually a block away from Central Park, right? Because Central Park starts at 59th Street and 5th. But if you're going a block east of that, you're on Madison. So for those that live in townhouses or apartment buildings there, they have the best of both worlds. They can go walk and work out in the park, and they can go shopping right around the corner in their neighborhood. So I think that's pretty cool. So that corridor is really, really trendy. I'd say it's a sexy, trendy corridor to walk around in. You check it out. A lot of limestone buildings, beautiful architecture. I mean, it's really something to really just kind of absorb and walk around. And you kind of feel like you're in your own little world over there. And again, if you're liking to live in the neighborhood, there's apartments available. Contact me. And again, I can get you in touch with really good realtors that I work with over there that can get you into the apartments, or if you want to buy a townhouse, because again, folks, for New York City, they don't have actual single family homes per se. That's where you get them in Westchester, Long Island, New Jersey, Staten Island, and the outer boroughs, Queens and Brooklyn and the Bronx. But in Manhattan, it's really more about apartments and townhouses. And townhouses could be anywhere from 2-story, 3-story, 4-story, 5-story. Okay, it could be super big. It just depends upon what building you're buying, but it's all nestled in the 60s. Okay, that's what really makes it cool, because when you walk on Madison Avenue from 59th going south down to, let's say, 50th, it's all what? It's office and it's retail space. But when you go into the 60s and, of course, beyond, you're going to hit residential as well as retail. And the retail there tends to be a little bit high end, which kind of makes it really a good feel and just very refreshing to walk around and check out, right?
Oh.
They want to build up that trendiness like it is down in Greenwich Village and Tribeca and Soho and what have you. But for the point of walking around, again, with Central Park being right across the street and what have you, that 10-block stretch, folks, is really, really interesting. And literally, it's not talked about. But guess what? I'm talking about it, right? So there you go. So that's why I want to make sure that people, again, it's a reveal to some, but probably others already know about this. But I just figured I have to, mention that, right? So, but again, in the heart of Midtown, besides Fifth Avenue, I think the area over there, it's really growing. I mean, Park Avenue had what we call the redevelopment zone. And again, it just gives tax benefits for corporations and people for going in. This is going back 10 years already, 2016. I can't believe it. So, which they call the Opportunity Zone. And they made in the Opportunity Zone all over the United States to give tax benefits for people to basically bring up neighborhoods that needed upkeeping and revitalization, and then you get a tax benefit 10 years from the time that they built it. Park Avenue was one of them, and they did a great job down from 45th Street up to 55th Street. A lot of new projects, and again, for all of my domestic and international friends, if you had visited recently, you see a lot of empty lots or empty buildings that are basically being built on Madison, on Fifth, and even Park Avenue for that matter, which I was kind of shocked. So there's going to be some new builds that are going to be going up, and how high the skyscrapers are going to be, that remains to be seen. But the thing is that, you're bringing back into Midtown the life pulse of what makes the city beat. And I think certain situations and certain sections of Midtown, whether it's Midtown East, which is east of Fifth Avenue, and you have Midtown West, which is west of Fifth Avenue. That's kind of like the middle of the road there for the island. And I'm telling you, it's not disappointing. It's really turning around over there slowly but surely. I know, again, we're not a political show. There's a lot of people that don't like the New York City mayor. I get it. I understand it. But you know what? It's who's been voted in. You got to work with it. But at the end of the day, like I said, things are progressing, and nobody's leaving New York City, folks, to go run down to Florida. I mean, yeah, you're going to have some people doing that, but there is no quote-unquote exodus, believe me. There's businesses that are there that are thriving, and they're not going anywhere because they're too entrenched in what's going on, and that's their life hub, and they have to be there. So let's put that to rest, okay? So, but on that note, let's take a quick New York minute, and we're going to take a commercial break, and when I get back, what else? We're going to start spreading the news and talking more about New York, New York.
It doesn't matter anymore. In a New York minute, everything can change. Things can get pretty strange. In a New York minute, everything can change.
Are you seeking a virtual real estate experience? Are you ready for a personalized concierge white glove treatment service? Vegas Home Source in Cabo G, we provide the shining star this year. Why? Because every star shines bright and you are that star. Contact Gianno, your real estate experience expert, and your journey to your castle is complete. Call him toll-free at 888-528-2810. That's the number that treats you like the star you are.
Hey, what do you say? What do you say? Thank you so much for sticking around on the back half of Getting Home Source. I'm your host, Gianno. And hey, folks, again, everything that we talk about. We have our newsletter that just came out. So please, if you haven't got the newsletter yet, check it out. Again, VegasHomeSource.com. Get on the newsletter tab, click it, subscribe to it. You're going to like it. A lot of information there covering Mexico, covering the U.S. and what have you, real estate market. You got to know about that. And again, my MLS folks, for my newbies and my first timers, you have free MLS access, which means that you have free computer access to go in and search for properties in Cabo, Mexico, as well as in Las Vegas, Nevada. So again, you have that tool for you there, folks. It's free, and nobody's tracking you down like other people and other companies that want your info. We don't do that here at Vegas Home Source, okay? It's there for you. It's there for the taking, and I have been preaching about this since day one. You have to give back. This is a community show, okay? We talk about community. We talk about giving back. This is what I do. I want to give back to all of you that are listening because you're doing the favor of taking the time out to listen to me. So, of course, what do I have to do in return? I have to reciprocate because this is what it is. It's participation. It's engagement. What can I do for you? Okay, because I'm at your service. I want to be better, and I want to be able to service everybody that I can, whether you're an old client, going to be a new client, a friend, a customer, a listener. It doesn't matter. You're working with other people. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what matters is that you're getting home sourced, okay? You're getting the information, you're getting the facts, because like as I like to say, it's actual, factual, and practical. It's all there for you, and it's very important for me that we have that engagement. That's why we do mailbag shows, and we go through everything, and we write about everything. So just want to, put that out there to let people know that that's what I appreciate about everybody, because again, we appreciate each other. We're communal, we're family, and this is the way it is. It's la familia. Okay, so that's what we have to say about that. Now, as far as the New York real estate market goes, I have to say, really, and I always do, I'm always going to tell it to you like it is, okay? And I hate to say this, and my old neighborhood per se is the East Side Lexington Avenue corridor. Does not look very good, folks. I mean, I have to say, I almost have to call it Ratchington and not Lexington, because it's just, I don't know what happened over there, but everything between 48th Street up to 59th it's dismal, okay? It's just not super sexy as it used to be. The only thing that stands out over there is the Waldorf Astoria that actually occupies the whole city block on 50th to 49th and going up the park. And that's the only beautification that I seen has taken place, but everything else, folks, is vacant storefronts. I just don't understand what's happening on Lexington for those landlords that own those buildings. I mean, if you're listening to the show, I mean, gosh, you got to clean it up over here. I mean, you can't be just leaving buildings empty. I mean, Dwayne Reed Drugstore, which is like a Walgreens in the United States, kind of like brother and sister, and yet 2 locations go out of business on Lexington. I mean, that's just unheard of and really shocking at the same time. I really couldn't believe it. And as busy as Lexington Avenue is, because it's interesting, they have little tiny storefronts that have like these baby shops that some places have been there for like forever, but some of them are closed, empty, they reopened again. But it just, I don't know, it just seems dysfunctional over there, walking up and down that corridor. Very strange, because then you go to Park Avenue and it's a whole new world, and then you go to Madison Avenue, whole new world, and of course you have Fifth Avenue, right? That's like the Mecca. But to be 3 blocks away and to be like that, I mean, again, landlords, if you're listening out there, please, you got to get this thing figured out. That whole corridor between 47th and 57th on Lexington, very dismal. It's not vibrant. There's a lot of, the Marriott Hotel has been closed since COVID. That thing hasn't sold. It hasn't reopened. It's boarded up. It just looks terrible. Sell the building. I mean, if you're not going to do anything with it, sell the building, give somebody else a chance to get in there and make it happen. I mean, again, even on Madison Avenue in that corridor, you have a J.P. Morgan, beautiful behemoth building. Oh my God, folks! You have to check it out. It's gorgeous. They even have where you can take the escalator or stairs or elevator downstairs to cut underneath the streets to get right to Grand Central Station. It's climate controlled. It's clean. It's really amazing. Again, for J.P. Morgan, I think that's a 60 or 61 story building. Gorgeous. Okay, so we got to kind of get that cleanup crew onto Lexington. Let's get it figured out over there. because if Madison Avenue and Park Avenue can do it, certainly Lexington Avenue can do it. And I mean, look, with rents over there being an average of just under $5,000 a month, and again, those numbers are skewed, but when you look at the data and the stats that come out, of course they average it up higher, because when you have higher rents compared to lower rents, they take the average of the highest and then kind of bring it down. Can you get good rental deals in New York City? Absolutely. But just to put it out there, to see that they're saying that it's just under $5,000, but let's just round it up and just say $5,000. So if you're paying $5,000 for either a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment in New York City, again, depending upon where you are, right? You could be in Hudson Yards on the west side of town. There could be a studio for $5,000, or you could be on the east side of town, the Lower East Side or the Lower West Side or Upper East Side, Upper West Side, and you could be paying that same amount of money and you get a 2-bedroom. So it just depends upon where you are, if you want to walk up or an elevator. And folks, again, so that you understand, a lot of people love to have doormans because they have elevators, whereas the older buildings, the pre-war buildings, again, built before 1940, and usually those buildings are like 1900 to 1940, you're going to have walk-ups, okay? There were no elevators back then, but after the war, you have apartment buildings, they have elevators and what have you. So again, cheaper rents in the walk-ups, but then you have, again, higher rents, but it's conveniency to have doormen and to have elevators, not just one elevator, but let's say 2 or 3 elevators in a building, and spacious enough to bring up your furniture, okay? So that's kind of how New York City residential real estate is. And again, for, let's say, my UK friends that are listening to the show, we call them flats, right? So the flats in New York City are those studio, the 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedrooms, right? So you don't really want to deal with the walk-ups. You want to deal with elevators and doormen. You pay the extra money, it's worth it, and you have that conveniency, as I call it. And I think it's important, and security as well. So I think that's also important as well. But for the most part, the luxury residential market is steady. I mean, you don't see really anything going bad where there's stuff, of course, that'll sit on the market for a long period of time. However, the Waldorf, for instance, again, here's a property that just recently reopened, and they have 750 rooms. Now, what they're doing is that they actually made it official, and they put their property on the market to sell for over $1.2 billion. That's 1.2 US dollars, $1 billion to sell. But here's the thing, though. They want to keep 375 rooms for themselves to sell as condos, because there are a few people that are living in the building as hotel condo set up for residential. And of course, you have the hotel amenity, but then you actually have the 375 hotel rooms that are selling. So really, does those numbers add up per door when you're looking at over what, 500,000 a door? I don't know about that. I mean, for having 750 and you're giving half the, you're holding or withholding half of those, the building, let's say, to go sell on your own as a seller, not a good business play. I don't think investors are going to be winding up buying the Waldorf, unfortunately, at that price, with that price per door way, way, way too high. I just don't see that happening. But hey, look, you know what? You never know. Stranger things have been known to happen, because, again, investors, when you're buying in New York City, especially Manhattan, they have to look at the profit loss. They're looking at what they can make on their cap rate, on their return on investment, okay, the ROI. And I'm going to keep a close eye on this to see what they're doing if they do have a buyer, because whoever buys the Waldorf Astoria has got to be an international buyer. I guarantee you it will not be a domestic corporation buying that, unless they're going to get a deep, deep, deep discount. And for right now, I just don't see that happening, because even at $1.2 billion, they're still walking away losing money, and they're not going to get their money, the people that own the property. But hey, God bless you, see what happens, and then go from there. I think the main thing is to try to sell the condos first, get that out of the way, get that filled up, and then it might be easier to move the hotel side of it, and of course with the property as well. But for those that understand New York City, and let's say for those that don't, right now, New York City, the really trendy areas is going to be, downtown. It's going to be Soho, Tribeca, Greenwich Village area, Chelsea. And let's even throw in Gramercy Park. That's kind of like on the east side. Again, beautiful communities, very rich in tradition, very old. It gives you that old, 18th, 19th century, 20th century type feel. And it's not really too modernized per se. You just feel like you could be in Europe. You could be overseas and living in that kind of community, cobblestone, walk up the steps in the front, and then you go into your townhouse. And because a lot of townhouses are down there, and a lot of people like to own the townhouses, right? That's a big thing. It's privacy. And the townhouses, again, can go anywhere from 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 story for a townhome, depending upon the building. So, and it's single tenant, right? You're not going to share that with anybody. It's just all yours. And a lot of celebrities, a lot of well-known people, they want to get out of that midtown grind, hustle and bustle. So that's kind of like their retreat. You go downtown, which is on the west side again, Greenwich Village, Chelsea, Tribeca, Soho. Very trendy. They sit down there. You have the cafes, some nice shopping, some nice food markets, cobblestone, wide streets. You walk around. And they have different cultural neighborhoods as well. It's beautiful, and it's really, really nice. But if people want, the houses, the Manhattanites, as we call ourselves, Manhattanites, we go out to either Long Island, we go to Westchester County, which is upstate New York, and you're getting your property, and even Connecticut for that matter, or New Jersey, and you're getting, country homes, summer homes, whatever, even winter homes, just to get out of the city to kind of take a step back and just breathe in the fresh air and get out of the city and just kind of unwind, I guess is the best way to go. But now again, the other side too is that, does the city still have issues? Do they have homelessness? Yep, they do. I mean, again, that's not going to go away anytime soon. But really, I mean, you have that really all over in any major city or country, and we try to do the best we can to help out people that need help and that need assistance that are on the streets. And it's really sad that that's happening, where we used to have institutions where we could take people off the street and rehabilitate them, let me say that 3 times fast, to get them help and to get them back on their feet and get them going, right? But unfortunately, with the city, they're trying, they're moving things around, they're making things happen. I mean, again, being there, the scuttlebutt was that they were going to make Rikers Island an apartment complex and basically not make it a jail anymore, because New York City's jail was Rikers Island, in between the boroughs of Manhattan, Bronx, Queens, and that's where all the prisoners were going. Now they got to figure out where they're going to relocate everybody. So that should be interesting, and we'll get some more information on that when that presents itself. But again, they're doing a better job. I mean, again, everything's progression. It takes times. Subways, I wrote them. I did videos of them. They're on my Facebook page, so you can check that out. I mean, I took the 5, the 6, and the 7 trains, no problem, clean. It's what it is. People have their different perceptions, but I had to take video to show people, hey, the times that I took it were the busy times, and no problem. And even on the off-peak times, early morning, let's say late morning, to go down. When I say early, like 10 o'clock, but that's in between the rush hours. You go down there, no problem. The subway's good. And now, folks, again, I know a lot of people, they may not know this, again, so another mini reveal per se, that New York came out with an Omni card, so it's O as in Oscar, M as in Mary, and then NY New York. So now it's like a credit card, it's like a black and white card you get from a kiosk, and then basically the fare now for either a bus or a train is $3, $3 for one way. So if you're going to go uptown, downtown, you figure it's $6 round trip wherever you're going from start point to end point and back, right? So now you could use that for the bus, you could use that for the trains. It's like basically, I call it like a little credit cards, like a plastic card, and it's good for like 5-6 years. So I mean, again, like a credit card, it expires out over a certain period of time, but you can load up the card, you could do a monthly pass, you could do individual, so it's there for you. They got rid of the Metro card. That was the one that's been there for 20 years. So now they upgraded and they went to an Omni card. So now you really don't go to the MTA like in the subway, for instance. You go down, talk to one of the people in the booths. They'll assist you actually and have you walk over to the kiosk machine, and then you get set up over there. So those just that are going to be visiting New York soon and don't know about the changeover, so the Omni card replaces the Metro card, and therefore and the fares go up. So now it's $3. So, and they'll charge you $1 for the card. So altogether, let's say if you're just going to do two-way train trip, let's say, it's going to be $3 and $3, $6 plus the $1 to give you the card, so it's $7. So it's basically $7 for a round trip and the card. But then you keep the card, and then you just keep adding on to the card. They don't charge you for the card unless you lose it, and you have to get another one. So just to keep that in mind. But again, with the MTA, they're getting better. They're getting more security down in the subways. I know everybody makes fun like the New York City subway system's the worst and what have you. You hear all the negativity out there. Hey, you know what? I see people in the UK in the tubes, and the tube people pickpocketing, so you're having nonsense going on over there as well. You have to be aware of your surroundings no matter where you are. But I have to just kind of defend the subway system because it is the easiest way to get around in New York. I don't care what anybody says, unless you're high-end driving a limo or you have a driver that's going to take you around, or you like taking taxis or Ubers and whatever. Again, the subway's the quickest way to go, and it's convenient, and there's trains every 5-10 minutes, again, as long as they're running on time, right? But outside of that, you're going to have no problems, and I support the subway. I use it every time I go down there, and there's really no problems because, again, with the Omni card, a lot of people say that you can use it on your phone or you get the card. Me, I'm old school, so that's why I tell people I don't like putting things on my phone. I don't bank on my phone. I don't Zelle on my phone. We use our phone like a wallet, and it's so easy to get your phone hacked nowadays. That's why there's a lot of scammers out there. They want to get into your phone and steal your bank account information and steal all your information. Why give it to them, right? That's why if you're able to do it old school, you play it safe, you do it old school. I'm old school. I'll get the card. I'm not going to use use my phone as a train pass. I know a lot of people like it. I don't. That's just me. But again, if you like using your phone for banking and shopping and other things, hey, God bless. If that works for you, that's fantastic. But for old school people like myself, I could tell you right now, that's just something that's not in the cards for me. So I just keep it real. I'll just go down there, put the cash in the machine, and then put it on the card, on the Omni card, and use that running around. And at least I know what we got going on. So that's just me. And again, you could use it for trains and buses, folks. So that's what that's for, right? For the MTA, for the Mass Transit Authority. Okay, so that's what we have for that. But again, the weather overall for the summertime, again, spring going into summer, it felt like summer, but it was actually spring. Hey, listen, we go out with my family. We checked out the Mets baseball game against Arizona. It was 36 degrees at first pitch at 7 o'clock at night. So I guess in Celsius, what is that, 8 degrees Celsius, and then 36 regular. So at the end of the day, hey, we enjoyed it. We love the cold. Not a big deal. Okay, people were freezing. We're having ice cream out there, enjoying ourselves with hoodies on, loving life. And then again, daytime was a little bit warm some days, a couple days it rained. And then, of course, then you had hot weather and cold weather during the day. But it was a mixed bag all the way around. But really, April, great time to go to the city, really to enjoy. The weather's great. You just got to bring long pants and short pants, and then you choose your pick which ones you want to wear, depending upon the situation. But it wasn't really a lot of rain that in years past is what I thought I would be expecting. But it didn't. So it worked out great weather-wise, right? But again, if you haven't been, certainly a place you want to check out on your bucket list. I mean, I'm not bragging about it because I'm from there, my family's there, whatever, that I go and visit. But, it's always nice to know where you come from, where you get grounded. It's about, your roots, where you come from, but also understanding, hey, could I have lived in New York City? Would it have been affordable for me if I never moved and I never moved out to Las Vegas? Could I afford a condo or an apartment or a townhouse back in 1990, 1991? And what would have been worth today? Because everything kind of skyrocketed. So you're going to make money. Because folks, remember, in real estate, whether it's New York, Las Vegas, Cabo, San Lucas, Mexico, wherever you want to buy, even overseas, it's the old saying, what's expensive today is cheap tomorrow. You have to go based upon that premise. So again, it's the information that I want to give to people, because I think it's important. When you talk about real estate, you talk about cultures, you talk about where do you want to be in a city, right? Again, New York, it's got different neighborhoods, all sorts of cultural, all over the place you see it, it's all cultural. It's a melting pot of the world, really. But, when you take that and you remove yourself from it, now you go into other cities and other countries and what have you, get to appreciate what? culture. You get to appreciate the real estate. You get to appreciate where you're buying, what you're buying, how you're buying. And that's why, again, in talking about New York, for those that visit and what have you, it's great investment over there, okay? Because, again, globally, everything is shifting. And because everything is shifting, people looking at what's the best opportunities for me. You have to seek out your own opportunity, folks. You have to seek out what you're looking for, okay? And, you got to get the fear factor out of the way, and you got to get rid of listening to the noise, okay? There's a lot of noisemakers out there. And listen, there's a lot of disruptors out there, and people get confused, and they want to believe what they want to believe, and I understand that. But the thing you have to do is you have to research things out. I think it's important to get the disinformation because it gives you a different opinion of things, right? Because it's like, alternative responses, alternative thinking, and it's critical thinking. And this is what we try to bring to the show. We try to bring critical thinking to the show just to be open-minded about, hey, the different things that we're covering, because it could apply to you, it could apply to your family member, it could apply to a client, it could apply to job relocation, and it's always nice to know what's going on. You get the little nuggets no matter where you go and what you do. It's always good to be prepared, informed, okay? And you have to have the love to learn. That's the way it's going right now in an ever-changing society. Economic conditions, what is it? It's ever-changing. So what do we have to do? We have to learn to adapt, and we have to love to learn. If you don't love to learn, what's going to happen, folks? You're going to be on the wayside, right? So, but it's not so much about listening to opinionated people and opinionated shows. You have to get the facts. You have to do the research. You have to get the homework done, right? Because if you get too many opinionated shows, just like, again, U.S. media, for the most part, they're all opinionated shows. They're not really so much factual. It's just like, okay, here's the news, here's our spin on it, and you listen to 3 different news stations, and they're going to give you 3 different spins. Where's the actual, where's the practical, where's the factual? Stick to the facts, stick to what's actually happening. Let's not spin it out of control. And unfortunately, what happens, things get spun out of control. So that's why with this show, I really thank you guys for listening. I really thank you guys for participating. Again, the mailbag was really great. A lot of people enjoyed that. So thank you so much for last week's show and the feedback. I'm really glad that you liked that. And I love doing that for you. And if, again, there's questions, there's topics that you want me to talk about, please feel free to write in, because let me know what you want to hear. I mean, there's a lot of things that will be coming up down the road, folks, that I told you, 2026, the year of reveal, okay? What's been hiding behind closed doors in 2025, look what's happening, folks. Everything's revealing itself in 2026. We talked about this back in December 25, and I told you what's going to be happening down the road.
What did I teach you?
And I'm glad you're listening, because I hope now you can tell your friends and say, hey, you know what? Hey, Getting Home Source, this guy knows what he's talking about, because everything that he's talking about, this is what's happening. So, again, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's all about the community here, okay? This is a community family show, and I just want to say I'm glad to explore things with you. This is what we talk about. Again, I wanted to share New York City just to kind of get those myths and these like negative comments about what's going on over there. I mean, look, the joke of the matter is that every time you go fly into JFK Airport, for instance, it's pretty funny. They've been working on a project for the highway over there, the Van Wyck Expressway that gets out to Queens, it connects Queens to JFK Airport, and the thing hasn't even been completed. Okay, this is like the ongoing joke that I don't know what's happening. Those union heads, God bless you. You got a lifetime pension just trying to fix the highway over there. But by God, I mean, 20 years and this thing hasn't been fixed yet. I mean, you already have LaGuardia Airport that got fixed faster and got totally remodeled. And that's why JFK is getting remodeled right now. But guys, I mean, come on, union heads, you got to fix the freeways over there. You got to fix what's going on to connect to JFK. I took a flight out at 6 a.m. in the morning, and I was on the road just to get there a little bit early, and they had it down to one lane on a Saturday morning at 3:30, which pushed the time that normally during that time frame would be like a half an hour, was almost an hour because of one lane closure that shut it down for the last 5 miles to get from the construction site to the airport. So for those that are flying out of JFK, in and out and what have you, I'm telling you, be prepared to leave a little bit early, because again, with that Van Wyck Expressway, It is an absolute joke, and it's embarrassing. I have to call it out. We call it as we see it. Luckily, I made my flight. No big deal because I knew better. And that's why, hey, leave 3.5 hours early. And even in the morning for a 6 a.m. flight. Why, folks? You never know. So that's a little tourist goodie for you. So this way for people that travel in and out of there that don't know it, you know it, be prepared for it. That's what's happening. So again, great things happening here coming up in the next few months that I'm looking forward to sharing with you. So until then, be safe. God bless. Take care. And hey, guess what? You know what, folks? We're going to do it again next week as we always do. And on that note, take care.
This is the last stop on this train. Everyone, please leave the train. Thank you for riding with MTA New York City Transit.
You have just listened to Getting Home Sourced with your radio host, Gianno Buonaguro. This podcast is a registered trademark and may not be reproduced without the express written consent of VegasHomeSource.com. For additional information about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, call or text Gianno toll-free at 888-528-2810 or visit his website at VegasHomeSource.com. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.